Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. And today's layout is for Ellie's Sunday, a series that I'm doing with my lovely friend Scrappy Adam, where each week we focus on one of Ellie's Studio's products. Now, this week's focus is on the tile letter stickers. Gosh, I couldn't think what they were called then. Tile letter stickers. So I'm using my Vicki Boutin Print Shop to create the base of the layout, and I'll be using those stickers for the title and also the date later on. So I've been encouraging my comments to use more pattern paper as my background, so that's what I'm trying to do a little bit more, and this is the perfect range to do it with because I have got the 12 by 12 paper pad, so I've got an awful lot to work my way through. So I'm being a little bit canny, and I'm using a very plain background for today's layout, and the photos that you will have seen at the beginning are of my kids, my husband FaceTiming me when I was at CHA in America back in 2016. When we first started going, Leanne and I, we had to phone home, and oh my goodness, our phone bills were absolutely astronomical. But as FaceTime came in, it was a revelation. Now we don't really use the phone at all, just for FaceTiming when we're on Wi-Fi, so it's much better. Anyway, you can see I wanted to play again with these circular stamps from the print shop collection. So I'm just going through with my black soot ink and stamping the various images down the centre. Once again, it's going to be a vertical layout. So here are those photos of them. I think they were honestly more interested in looking at themselves in the screen than chatting to me, but that's why I screenshotted it in the end, because they were just so funny, the faces that they were pulling and messing about. They just got back from school. So now that stamping's done, I'm going to come in with these. These are the two branding strips from two of the papers that I've used recently. So I'm just carefully covering up the hole in the centre of each of the branding strips with the photos, and then I'm going to come in with these 49 and market tickets. Now, as you can see, the photos are predominantly black, white and grey, with the red obviously of the hang up button on the bottom of the phone. So I wanted to bring in some of the red, and that's why I've gone for this peachy pink background. So just bringing in the red and sticking to black and white as much as possible. But then you will see me bringing in some yellow, which is another favourite colour to go with these. Red and yellow, I think, go so well together. So just adding some of these tickets and stamps and having a fiddle. And I will go in and start gluing down soon, because I want to use some of this 49 and market stitched washi tape. So first of all, I'll stick these two strips down. So the first one goes down as a full 12 by 12. That's the text piece, and then the second piece, which is actually the reverse of this paper, so it must have been the branding strip from this paper with the florals on it. I just tear a small piece off the top and bottom. You can see I'm doing it there, just to reduce the height and length. I did it off both ends this time because I wanted to keep the holes pretty close to one another in the centre of that page, so that it's easier to cover them up with the one photo rather than stressing about two different pieces that I had to cover up. So now coming in with that washi tape, I'm starting with the black piece with the white stitching on. And I'm not too worried about the lengths that I'm putting it down. I'm just going with my gut feeling as I stick them down. And layering up and building up this nice strip down the centre of the layout. So this is the last one that I go in with. And now coming back in with my photos, and then I'll bring those tickets back in before gluing everything down. So just recreating those clusters that I had there before. And then I don't know what made me decide to do it this way, but today I'm actually sticking the tickets down before I stick the photos down. So I find a yellow piece that I want to use at the top there, and that's the point that I decide that I must stick these down before I start using the stickers. And it's usually the way, if you watched my videos previously, I get to a point where I want to start adding stickers and realise that I need to get everything else stuck down first. So as I say, just sticking down those ticket clusters before adding the photos. So working on this one at the top now. I love these tickets from 49er Market. They come in a variety of colours. If you haven't got some, do have a look at them. They're absolutely fantastic. And it's such a huge box. You get 3 rolls. It's well worth going in with a friend and sharing them, maybe getting a colour each and swapping halves. So just making sure that I'm covering most of that right hand mute button on that top photo, because it just doesn't need to be shown. So having a fiddle to make sure that that's covered. Or all but covered, it's not quite covered. And now these photos are down, I can see that there are some gaps in my stamping that I want to just improve on. So first of all, on the right hand side here, and these half stamps are brilliant for this. Although it was only one that I used as a half stamp, the rest I masked to do it as an even less than half. And there I misstamped, so I'm just coming back in to get the left hand side of the stamp on the page there. Another 1 or 2 down the bottom here, and then that's it. And I really do love these circular stamps. I'm going to have much more of a play with them with colours in the future. And that's it. So just coming in with my T-square ruler to check that everything is straight. I felt that that photo was just slightly off, and it was. But because I've used this wet glue, I have the time to manoeuvre things around a little bit. So now coming in with that tag that I'd found in the yellow, and this is where I introduced the yellow to this layout, and it just says funny stuff, and I thought that was great. So using my wax thread to add to the tag hole, and I'm just going to leave the strings loose. And now that's down, I'm going to look for some other bits and pieces to add to the layout. So first of all, a gold and black striped heart, one in that cluster at the top left hand side, so I'll find another one to add to the bottom right. And then this is a label that just says details. It's got a tab on this side that says details, and I think that works really nicely. And it's bringing that pink forward a little bit that we've got in the background as well. This chipboard piece now on the chipboard sticker sheets says captured, so that works nicely. Just going back through the sticker sheet. And this sticker says made me chuckle, and I think that works really nicely with these photos because they really did make me chuckle that day. It was lovely. So now coming in with the very reason for this video, the Elle Studio tile alphabets, and I'm going to spell out the title, which is FaceTime, and you will have seen me put in that chipboard piece at the bottom that said fun. I've got it there, and I decide that this title is going to be FaceTime Fun, so I just move that up underneath the word FaceTime. And now I'm going to come in with my journaling, just in that little space between underneath the title and to the side of that word fun. And it just says, when I was in Anaheim for CHA, we FaceTimed regularly, but I think you were both more interested in seeing yourselves in the screen. There were 8 at the time, so it was all quite novel. So now I'm coming in with the date. So I start with January 2016 and then decide to put 14 at the front so that it's the actual date that we did this. And now I'm going to start going through the other ephemera that I've got from Print Shop. So first of all, the chipboard pieces. These are fantastic. All black and white, so perfect for this layout. So first of all, I find this lovely big chunky arrow that goes right at the top of the page to draw your eye down through the photos. And just gluing some bits down as I go, I realise that the chipboard's not going to survive for very long, so I just want to add some wet adhesive to that. And then I find a star which goes at the bottom there, just to balance it out really, because I've got that big chunky arrow at the top. I wanted to bring something down to the bottom as well, and that's enough of the chipboard. It's quite heavy, so I don't want too much weighing my layout down. And now going through this ridiculous box, I've got all the papyri pieces in here and the ephemera and the floral ephemera. And it's too much. I really need to sort it out into 2 boxes really, because it's just crazy trying to dig through it. But I do find this little word word piece that says A Collection of Moments, and I really wanted to get that into the layout, so I just put that to the right hand side of that bottom photo there, and that nestles in nicely to the side there. And then keep going through to see what else I can find. I think I'm going to use that piece, but it doesn't make it in the end. It covers up too much of the stamping. And then eventually I found another washi piece, and it's a ticket, like one of the tickets that you take when you go to the deli counter in a supermarket there. So I had that just above the second photo, and you'll see I put it down a bit too quickly and cover Ross's head, so I have to peel it off very carefully in the photo here and move it up a bit. And it just adds a bit of interest again. And I wanted to bring some more of that yellow into the bottom of the layout because we've just got it in that funny stuff piece at the moment. So I'm going through these stickers, and first of all I find this black and white one that says Stay Focused and Extra Sparkly. So I put that under the photo of Mealy. And then I find a yellow one that just says This Day, and it brings that yellow down into the bottom a bit more. And I'm looking at it, and I decide that I'm going to go in with some splatters of gold to see if that brings the yellow in, but it doesn't do enough for me. So you'll see I'm going to splatter with my gold watercolour paint. Any gold medium would work for this. I've got the Heidi Swap Colour Shine, which is no longer, but if you've got that, that would work. Or these watercolour blocks are great. You can get them on Amazon. So just adding some tiny splatters around the page and wondering what to do next. And this layout actually did take me overnight, so I removed those and left it for a little while, and then I remembered the flare badges that I've just created for Hey Little Magpie, and this set is a set of phrases that all go, the colours are all to match Print Shop, and I've got one in yellow that says Moments Captured, and that just brings that yellow in perfectly to the bottom there, and it really balances the yellow out. And then I leave it overnight, and I'm still not happy. And I see the starburst shape that I created using the stamps, and I realise that's what I want to do with my red wax thread to bring some more of the red around the page. So just cutting a nice big piece off, and I'm going to go round. I just use my needle and some foam underneath to prick the holes in the layout, and then it's very easy just to stitch through. I won't make you sit through all of it, I'll just show you the start and how I do it. So just securing the thread on the back of the layout, and then going around those holes that I've pre-punched and stitching through them. And I end up with, I think three stars at the top of the layout and 2 at the bottom in varying sizes. And it really does finish this off nicely. I'm so pleased with how this turned out, and I love those Ellie's letter stickers because they really add a chunk to the layout and finish it off very nicely. So just finishing this first starburst so that you can see how it looks. And it's just literally up through the outer holes and then down through the central hole all the way around to create a lovely starburst. You see? And it just echoes that one above it that's been stamped really nicely. So now going in at the bottom here and doing exactly the same thing. And this wax thread does show up really nicely. It's a bit thicker than normal thread, so it's worth the investment. Again, just eBay or somewhere you can get this. So slowly going through until they're all done. So on to the last one now, I think. And you'll see them all in the close-ups shortly. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you've enjoyed this Ellie's Sunday. Do check the description box down below. I'll link Adam, and I can't wait to see what he creates this week. He's been knocking his layouts out the park recently, so it'd be nice to see what he's done. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.